bring the stakeholders involved and getting involved. I do know they have already, the Birmingham group has already gotten some things, some plans and whatever. I think before we form our stakeholders, but we meet with them and hear what they have to say. And then we can take that with that and even let the stakeholders at another date meet with them as well as us. But I think just forming the stakeholders and letting them have their opinion, we need to get a professional in here that has already looked at the properties and done some research and put something out there. We look at what they have to offer and then incorporate that with the stakeholders to see how it would work. I would hate to us to come up with something very different from what they had and it not be a workable plan for either.
So you're okay with rescinding this, but
bringing the Birmingham group in.
Us to talk with the Birmingham group, then look about what they say to the stakeholders, and then have a task force and
let the stakeholders have a look at what they have presented.
Right, okay.
And see what they can do to make it better, to make it worse, or status quo, whatever.
How do you feel about timelines? I mean, I personally feel like timelines are.
That's why I had the 6 months, because it was 6 months to get off our duffs and do something productive.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Mayor, bringing in the Birmingham group first, letting them engage council, then they can actually engage stakeholders and determine what's.
That would be my suggestion.
Okay.
But now I don't, as I say, that decision's not up to me. It's up to y'all.
But you brought this, and it's a healthy discussion. Before I vote, I want to make sure that we are carrying out the plan that you want to see, and that's.
I think it's not just my plan. I think it's something we all want to see.
I agree, but
Yeah.
you brought it up, and you get the credit for it. So
Open this keg of worms, didn't I?
Oh, you started a conversation.
a healthy conversation, so that's good.
I'll second the motion. I would like to, 6 months is a long time to go without checkpoints. And I would like to challenge the folks that showed up today to discuss this, that, in 90 days, you ought to come ask what we're doing. I think part of the problem with government when they do things is nothing gets anything done quicker than somebody asking, where do you stand with it? So 6 months is probably applicable for the entire process. I think we got to have some checkpoints, and I think the developers and the residents should come in and ask, what have you done? And realizing not everything can be discussed in detail, but I think that having somebody go, oh yeah, by the way, knock knock, it's 90 days, what have y'all done? So I'm going to second President Logan's motion to rescind the moratorium.
Make sure we clarify. We want to, and I think that the order of mechanics, Councilman Roberts, is to rescind it with the understanding that the mayor will bring in the Birmingham group to engage the council. Ron, going legal now, if we bring the Birmingham group in, do we need to vote on them to allow them to utilize stakeholders, or I don't know.
What I would suggest is first, it was not, Monday night was not an ordinance, it was a temporary resolution. Second, I would suggest that we have something on the agenda at our next regular scheduled council meeting for the council to review about employing this group and at least put that on there, so because the council would have to vote to employ this group. But that way you would get things moving immediately. So that would be my suggestion.
All right, let me rephrase motion and then that way, Tony, we can clear it up. That's actually a temporary resolution that I am making a motion to rescind, and then asking that the mayor bring in the group from Birmingham so we can formally place it on the agenda, let them come and engage council and staff, and then from there we can establish some timelines, some objectives, some goals, and then allow the Birmingham group, if council approves their services, to come in and work and establish stakeholders in that particular area. Is that pleases everybody? I think that's probably what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, and I'll second, again, I'll maintain my second on that resolution as stated. Ron, thanks for the clarification on the mechanics.
All right, so that's a motion by Councilman Logan, second by Councilman Roberts. Any further questions, comments, or discussion points?
I'd say that we will have time to review these documents. Bring in the group from Birmingham, that gives us time to be prepared for the next step, to help move the process through, as Tony is saying, and not fiddle around here for
Mm-hmm.
a year trying to decide something.
If we're gonna rescind, we get to work immediately.
All right, so Chuck's gonna give us some copies. He'll have these up here probably to Monday. We know it's Easter weekend. Thank you, Chuck. So, any further questions or discussion points? All right, here now, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Hinton,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mr. President.
Thank you. Item 6 is adjournment. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hinton. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you and happy Easter, ladies and gentlemen.